Howdy ho tankers, and welcome back to episode 2 of the Comet Diary. Sorry it's been a while, but it's been Christmas. I've had to have some time off and not been able to put out as many videos as I wanted to. Anyways, right, before we go into the gameplay, after this video there is going to be some time in the garage showing you my initial setup, my adjusted setup, and also a quick look at the stats to see how I'm getting on. So this game was filmed with my initial setup, and it did work, although my adjusted setup just worked a little bit better. Took a bit of advice from some of you guys in the comments of the last one, or somewhere else it was, I think. Yeah, adjusted my setup, and it works really well. But the main focus of this game I want to put across is a camo crew. Definitely make it one of your at least first. You want Sixth Sense first, you want Brothers in Arms second, and then I would probably make it your one you train for the third, and either keep it or swap it to Snapshot and then train camo again and keep it. And the reason for that is just everything you're going to see in this video. Basically, I'm going to be able to put the good camo value of the Comet combined with a camo crew, and I'm just going to be able to basically tear up some higher tiered tanks, and they're not even going to be able to see me half the time.
Ready to fire on target.
See from the ranges of these shots, I'm well within spotting range from the majority of it, but with, again, the camo crew and the good use of cover, you can, see I'm even getting the spots for this guy, and he's through a bush. That is how good, if you have a decent view range and a good camo crew, it's a little unfair. Finally get spotted. That's because that guy got a little bit closer and it was just to the right of that bush, so the bush didn't count there. But I pull back, increase the range, and keep firing. Nice flanking shots on those guys. Unfortunately though, the low pen of this gun, shot to this range with this accuracy, which isn't particularly good, can get a lot of weird bounces and just a lot of misses, but with that rate of fire as well, you have so much more chance of setting people on fire. Especially T29s, there's nothing nicer than feasting on a T29 in this tank. It's a very, very nice tank to see, purely because the hull is a lot weaker than some of the other ones. Trying to pen an IS with standard rounds, a well-played IS who's side scraping, trying to pen him with these can be pretty tough. Yeah, so like I said, this game was filmed with my initial setup, and if any of you guys watched that live commentary test video I put up recently, that was filmed with the adjusted setup, and I managed just under 5k damage in that game. So I do feel, although this setup works, if you don't like using a premium consumable, this setup really does work for this tank. I always take Ramming ventilation if I can, just to bring up the DPM, and obviously I've got a rammer ventilation and coated optics fitted at the minute, and it just gives you that little bit of extra view range and a little bit of rate of fire. And when you're at this range and you're not moving, you don't really need the vert stabs, because your aiming circle comes down enough in between shots. It's pretty much fully aimed by the time you're ready to fire off the next shot. But for trying to outplay skilled players, you really do need the vert stabs. It enables you just to pop in and out and get those shots in just that little bit quicker. So here we go. Camo crew. I think actually he's just out of spotting range this time. So with this guy, wouldn't have spotted me anyway, but a lot of those shots before, I was even picking up assist ribbons and doing damage and not getting spotted. Centurion's still there, this rate of fire, and he's done. But the only bad thing about this rate of fire is the ammo count in this tank. I've run out of rounds on multiple occasions. I would love to actually break officially the 5k barrier in this tank, but if that is on the limit of your ammo, and you would have to pen pretty much every one of those shots. So we'll get spotted this time. Must be that guy who's just sort of in the foreground there. The Rheinmetall Borsig, yes, if he's got binos, he would most definitely be able to spot me. Pretty much doesn't matter how good my crew is. So most of this game just spent really just picking my locations wisely and just unloading into tanks that on the majority of the time you can't even see me. And by the looks of it from my tank, my paint had run out as well. So if you fit that paint, you just get that couple of extra meters camo value and you can do it even more successfully. When I get some more cruise skills trained up on this tank, I will most definitely be going for the muffled shot and maybe even green thumb.
The enemy knows our location. Ready to fire on target. Let's hit one of them. That's another kill for our team.
Yeah, they're the ideal shots for this tank. You're behind them, they can't shoot you back. There's nothing they can do about it.
Big hole. Our team just wasted an enemy. Ready to fire.
There was quite a lot of tier 8 enemies in this game, and we have just raffle stomped them into the ground. There's the Rheinmetall Borsig. I load up some high explosive rounds, get a pen on the first shot and break his gun. Missed that one. Searching for a shot. For some reason I moved my tank. I think that's gonna mean I don't pick up quite as much damage at the end there. In fact, I could have done. Anyway, tidy game. Over 3,000 experience for a premium account, that's not bad. So Mastery Ace tanker, still at 1 barrel mark at this point because this was filmed a while ago. I just wanted to show a video with the initial setup. And if you want to see what this tank can do with the adjusted setup, go and find that live contest. I really realised some of the audio is not good enough, but it was a test video. Anyway, we've managed 3,778 damage and 1,737 assist points, top of the team by miles, and just under 2k base experience. Another lovely game in the Comet. I've not been able to do this for the last week, which is why my percentages have been hovering around where they are. Well, I have had a few good games, but the couple of tier 9 games that you get thrown into really do test your mettle in this tank. And if you get thrown on a team of people who just want to suicide at the start of the game, trying to get enough damage and assist points done to maintain your average, it's really hard. Right into the garage now. Right, here we are chaps, looking at my Comet in the garage. We're just going to talk about my equipment, what I started with and what I have now changed it to. So let's go in equipment. So now I'm running rammer, ventilation and vert stabs, whereas before, when I first started doing this diary, I had rammer, ventilation and coated optics, and the reason for that is now I've changed my consumables. Right, so the reason I went for optics in the first place, if we look at the fully upgraded Comet, has 380 meters base view range. That is almost on the verge of needing binocular telescopes, but I went for rammer and vents to bring up the DPM and coated optics because I don't spend particularly long sat in one place, so binos wouldn't be active most of the time, so I have to make do with that view range. Aim time is pretty good at 2.29, but with vert stabs you get 20% less bloom between your shots, so although aim time's okay, with vert stabs you get less of that bloom during the turret movement. So now I found this does work very well. I'm able to pull off some tricky shots a lot quicker, and that's what you need with okay aim time but really bad pen. You need to be able to hit those weak spots as quickly as possible. Anyway, so that's how I've changed that. So onto the supplies. I have now ditched off the fire extinguisher for tea and pudding. Tea and pudding gives you 10% on all your major crew skills. So if you remove the coated optics, this adds plus 10% to your commando, which brings that view range back up 10% again. So I have exactly the same view range, but now I have plus 10% on all my other crew skills, including the loader. So I'm going to load even faster as well. So with this setup, although I do run the risk of getting set on fire, I now have the exact same view range that I started with, but I'm firing just that little bit quicker as well. Yeah, so ditching off the fire extinguisher. Well, as you guys know, the best way to play this thing is on a ridge line, so hopefully if you don't get caught out with your hull exposed the chances of getting set on fire are going to be very slim. I do find as well I hardly ever get set on fire on this thing anyway, much less from doing the IS and the Tiger Diary. And hang on, just need to find some wood to touch. Oh, I've not been set on fire since I've started this diary, which has been nice, but now I've said it, I'll probably get set on fire every 2 minutes. Right, so on to my damage standings at the minute. Well, as you can see on my tank, I have 2 nice white rings indicating I have 2 barrel marks at the minute. So I've made 85%, so where have I got to now? Comet, I'm at 85.73%, and I've been here for a while, probably a week at the minute. I keep having a couple of good games and going up, and then I have a couple of bad games and I drop back under 85%. This tank has been the easiest to get to 85%, but the hardest to progress any further, and I think the reason for that is kind of sort of the legend that this tank has, mainly from Quickie Baby. This is Quickie Baby's favourite tank. And there's a lot of people play this game, I expect, that want to kind of prove themselves, and they get a Comet and they keep it, and they always try and do as good as they can, and are probably trying to get 3 barrel marks as well. So I'm kind of thinking this tank is quite easy to get through the lower percentages. That are probably just people that are just grinding through the tank to get to the Centurion, and when you hit 85%, you're then at those 15% of players in the game but play the Comet because they want to play the Comet and they've got pretty good at it. So getting this last barrel mark is going to be very hard. Anyway, 2 barrel marks, getting some good games, quite a few crap ones mixed in between. I'm trying to get you some good tier 9 footage, but tier 9 is most definitely this tank's letdown. This gun at tier 9, some heavies will just laugh at you, some mediums will just laugh at you. Trying to fight a T54 that's hull down with this, absolutely pointless. Or an E75 that's hull down, or even showing this full front plate. The premium pen on this tank is not enough to fight an E75 from the front, and if you can't flank them, you're screwed. The best way to play this thing is to play it like a light tank. Try and spot and be sneaky for the first half of the game, save your hit points and then go in for the second half. But if your whole team die in 3 minutes, that doesn't leave you with that late game opportunity. Anyway, right, there we go guys, hope you enjoyed the episode. Please give it a like if you did, please subscribe if you haven't already, and I will catch you on the next one. See you later.